Romeo and Juliet are moving to a whole new garden.
All clear.
It's not quite perfect, but it's ours.
Think of all the adventures we're gonna have.
Look, there's a pool. Whoa!
I'm okay. Excuse me.
Oh, Mankini, that is just... Are you done?
I've made a jacuzzi.
Humans coming.
How's everyone? They were supposed to live happily ever after. But when their world is in danger,
Juliet, the gnomes, they're all gone.
there's only one gnome to call.
What the fertilizer?
I'm Sherlock Gnomes, sworn protector of garden gnomes.
You mean, except for the one you literally just broke?
Broken? Who's broken? Oh my god!
In 2018,
All ahead, full, Watson.
Those gnomes are in terrible danger.
from the director of Kung Fu Panda,
We can't let anyone hear this, but they're going to smash us all tomorrow night.
Smashed? This guy said we're all going to be smashed tomorrow.
prepare for an adventure.
We have to get across that river. We'll need a ship. No ship, Sherlock.
Into the great unknown.
Billy, our next clue is in the park.
Give us directions quickly.
Just follow the blue line on the ground until you find the giant red thumbtack.
Careful, it looks pointy.
James McAvoy, Emily Blunt, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Mary J. Blige, and Johnny Depp with original music by Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
We have to go undercover. Let's go. 2 forward. Hold. Ooh, I said hold.
Forgive me, I've never been the back end of a squirrel before.
We've been spotted.
Sherlock Gnomes.
That's not how a squirrel shakes its behind. Mankini, can you demonstrate? You see what I'm doing? See? Do you see?
Yes, you're acting like a rear end.
This is my purchase. And with the movie guys, my wife Mary Jane, and today we have a special guest, Miss Aaliyah. Say hi, Aaliyah.
Hi.
And tell us who you are.
I'm Aaliyah Scheidler, and my mom is Emily Scheidler, and I have a baby sister. Her name is Nova Scheidler. She's really, really nice.
Okay. We was worried about her talking it off. So this is our granddaughter Aaliyah. She's doing a show with us. Leah Monroe Elise Furchess Schuyler, something like that. So we're doing the show today, and the reason we've got Aaliyah is we went to see a show that just opened up yesterday called Sherlock Gnomes, an animated feature that's out that's getting a lot of buzz right now, getting a lot of airplay, showing the trailer a lot on television. Just played the trailer for you a few minutes ago, and we took Aaliyah with us. Went on a date yesterday, didn't we? We went on a date yesterday. I spent $40 on concessions and movie tickets and everything else, and she wouldn't even hold my hand. She had to get up and move away from me. What was that all about?
Well, because you didn't tell me that you wanted to hold my hand, and I thought that you just, because I don't like people like touching my leg for the whole
Okay, so she moved away from me. She was not a good date. So I did finally buy her some good stuff at Arby's last night. So we're here to talk about the movie Sherlock Gnomes. The movie, the executive producer, the maker of the movie is Elton John. He wrote all the music in the movie, which has quite a bit of music with the exception of one song. And I think that was a song that he actually had performed at one time. And the movie features the voices, let's see, Mary J. Blige, Emily Blunt, Michael Caine, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Johnny Depp does the voice of Sherlock. And my surprised voice that I didn't know was in the movie that I really thought was funny was Ozzy Osbourne. The Ozzy does a voice in the movie as well. He was Fawn, the deer.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That was Ozzy. So we'll talk about the movie. Aaliyah, the reason we wanted to involve Aaliyah, the movie's targeted towards her age group, and we took her, and I think it's important. Sometimes reviewers and critics see movies and they don't see it through the eyes of a child. Aaliyah, tell us what you thought about the movie Sherlock Gnomes.
Well, I thought it was honestly really funny, especially like, I liked how like Sherlock Gnomes and his sidekick,
Watson.
Yeah, Watson, they got along at the end. I really liked that.
Yeah.
And
did you laugh in the movie?
Yes.
So you had fun. Was you ever bored with it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Anything else that you thought about the movie that you really liked? Who was your favorite character in the movie?
That's hard.
That's hard. You think about it, okay? Mary Jane, what were your thoughts about the film itself?
Oh, I thought it was very enjoyable. It kept my attention, and I was watching her reaction throughout the movie, and she was thoroughly into it, laughing and just seemed to enjoy it. I thought it was a good little story, and it sort of made me want to get a little gnome and put it in my flower garden.
I think Aaliyah says yesterday we need to get some gnomes and put it at our house. We have the fairy garden, but we need a gnome garden, don't we? Is that what you were saying?
I did not say that.
Maybe that was Nanny that said it. So
I think it was probably me.
yeah, probably Nanny that said
Yeah.
it. So my thoughts on the movie, and again, this is going to show the importance of why we bring in a child like Aaliyah, or granddaughter, who actually saw the movie. Sometimes we as adults don't go to movies. There's nothing better than, I think, than going to the movie with the family. My wife and I have a date night every Wednesday. We go to see new releases, and we try to take our granddaughter Aaliyah to see movies as we can, especially a movie like Sherlock Gnomes. And there's others as well. We saw Jumanji together and others. But we went to see Sherlock Gnomes. The trailer looked really good and was really funny. And a word of warning here is that some of the funniest things in the trailer that made me want to see the movie are not in the movie. And that was actually kind of disappointing for me. I mean, there's a few scenes I could go into detail, but I'm not going to. I don't want to give any spoilers away. But there's a few things in the trailer that's really funny, and they're not in the movie at all. And I think folks need to remember that and be aware of that. I don't like it when theater companies do that. I would imagine that they moved some of those things out to give it more of a PG rating. It could have potentially been PG-13 with some of those things in the movie with some adult innuendo. But the movie is directed by John Stevenson, who does, I think, a really good job. What was the highlight of the movie to you? What was the best thing about it to you, Mary Jane?
I think them working together, and then realizing what sometimes we hurt others, we don't realize what we're saying or doing is hurting those around us. But that happens in this movie. But then at the end, of course,
It all comes back
it
together.
all comes back together.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a mystery involved in the movie. I mean, with the name like Sherlock Gnomes, I love the play on the word Sherlock Holmes to Sherlock Gnomes. With that kind of play on words, you can imagine that with Sherlock, there's going to be a little bit of a mystery. And there is a bit of a mystery. It's not too hard to figure out. In fact, I figured it out about halfway through the movie. I leaned over and said to my wife, and I won't give the mystery away, but I said something to her, and sure enough, I was right. I don't do that very often, so maybe I was thinking in the mind of a child, which was why I was able to figure out. But there are some great things about getting along. What is love? How do we show others love? How do we show appreciation? The importance of saying thank you. That's important, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When someone takes you on a date and buys you a good supper, it's probably a good idea to say thank you, isn't it? Face plant, Leah does a face plant. To me, the best thing in the movie, I loved the music.
The music added a lot to it.
It adds
really
it.
did.
Elton John did a fabulous job in the movie, and it's one of those movies that I love it when music plays an integral role in the movie. And with Elton John being the executive producer, you can kind of expect that. I didn't know he was the executive producer on the movie, but you can kind of expect that, and it delivers in that regard. Mary J. Blige does a good job in a couple of songs that she does. I like her character as well, and it's a good movie. I wouldn't say it's a great movie. Well, I'll tell you what I think, and you're going to see the difference again. Parents, grandparents, if you want to take your kids, listen to Aaliyah's review, okay? But be also listening to our review as well. The time with Aaliyah was worth it. But on a scale of 1 to 10, listen to the rating score. Mary Jane, what would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd probably give it a 7, 8, maybe.
Okay. Aaliyah, what about you? What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being just perfectly good?
I think I would give it a 9.5.
9.5. That's a little bit less than yesterday. Yesterday you said it was a 10.
No, I said it was a 9.5.
Oh, okay. At least it was a 9.5. You can tell she's my granddaughter. I'm a little bit more critical of the film. I thought it was really good and enjoyable for what it is. There's a lot of better films out there. I'm really looking forward to The Incredibles. It's coming out. There's some excellent animated films that are out there. So if I'm rating that in comparison to them, I would only give it a 6. Better than average, but not great. But knowing that Aaliyah gave it a 9.5 made it well worthwhile to take my granddaughter to see the movie, and that's something y'all need to think about as well. Things that you can do as a family. And
about your target audience.
Your target audience, yeah.
For that movie.
And well, it's not as, it doesn't have the adult humor say that Shrek does or that the Minions have, but there's some adult humor in there that the adults can enjoy as well. If everything in the trailers had been in the movie, it would have been even better, but it wasn't. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Mary Jane gives it an 8 or so. Is that what you said? 7 or 8?
7.5.
Mary, Aaliyah gives it a 9.5. I give it a 6. So you can give it what you want. Let us know what you think. I want to thank you for watching the program. You can find out more about the Movie Guys by subscribing to our page at YouTube. You can also go to Facebook. That's www.facebook.com/Wichita Movie Guys. That's WICHITA Movie Guys. That'll be in the credits that you see here as well. I also want to remind you, when you go to the movies, your desire to be on the cell phone during the movie is not necessary to give you the right to do it and ruin the movie-going experience for everybody else. So I challenge you, don't turn your cell phone down, turn it off. Let everyone else in the theater enjoy the movie as opposed to looking at your cell phone. Thanks for watching the Movie Guys. I want to thank you. Thank you, Mary Jane, for doing it again, and Miss Aaliyah. Thank you for being a part of the Movie Guys. Today it should have been the Movie Gals because there's 2 gals and only 1 guy, but we're using that term guys kind of in a, in a generic sense. Guys means all of us. So have a great day. God bless. We'll see you next time on the Movie Guys.
Bye.
Bye.